Hey guys, and welcome to an XRP Ripple video. I'm going to talk a tiny bit about the charts, a little breakout pattern here, but mainly about why I'm still bullish on XRP and Ripple, and I think that XRP is going to rally. I really do. I think we're going to have a breakout soon. When I say soon, the time frame is always really hard to predict, especially when we've got the geopolitical events that are going on. And remember, these are all my personal opinions, not financial advice, guys. But if you do enjoy this video, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. Hit that like button, share it with a friend. You know what to do. Drop a comment, all that good stuff, and we'll just get straight into it. So we'll just look at the charts for XRP to start with. Let's have a little look on the daily. We're only going to spend a little bit of time on this, and I'm just going to be talking to you in this video, guys. I'm going to be talking to you about a few different things, but yeah, we'll start with the charts. So, as you can see, we're still in this wedge pattern, and even with the drop that we've had over the last few days, it's a great time to scoop some up. In my personal opinion, I'm going to be buying some XRP very soon. I haven't had any cash, and then now I've got a little bit, so I'm going to be just adding to my bags. I did want to add down here, and I actually was really trying to find my cash at 64 cent, but my dad came through and basically said that he'd lend me a bit of money, so that's why I'm going to get some more now. But by the way, guys, my bags are so packed. It's just XRP basically that I hold, but that's all for me, my personal stuff. So yeah, anyway, I don't advise that to anybody. We are looking at this breakout by the 8th of June. That's where the wedge ends at the 8th of June, respecting the lows that have been held. XRP still respected those lows. As you can see, this wedge has been here, boom, boom, and it's touched it again today. We're respecting those lows still, and the 8th of June is the absolute longest it can be in this wedge. By that time, I do expect a decision to be made by XRP. We're low on the RSI. We're touching the bottom of the wedge, holding support here. Could we look now for a push out of this zone and off and up? The breakout target would be around $2.50, so that would be very nice. So that's the only thing that I really wanted to mention. Technically, there's not too much to talk about because everything's being affected by what's going on geopolitically. There's lots of issues with different currencies around the world and equities markets, and the response of central banks and governments in regards to what's going on with equities, supply chains, inflation, all these sorts of things. So the landscape is mad at the minute. There's a lot of potential here. We talked about it on my live stream earlier. Could crypto be starting to decouple away from legacy stocks and shares like equities and etc. We'll only know in hindsight, guys, but for me this is a great accumulation range. So I have got my little notes written down on my whiteboard, so you'll see me looking at it like this. So first off, we want to look at, obviously we had some awful news that the SDC Ripple timeline was a lot later than we all wanted. It's looking to be like September to March of 2020, like September of 2022 to March of 2023. Best case scenario, could be delayed longer depending on what happens. So what we're waiting for still is a decision on these Hinman emails. Obviously, Judge Netburn said they're going to be turned over. The SEC want an extension to file an objection. They want a 14-day extension, so that takes them out to any time around now. I think the 28th maybe, and then after that they'll have to file their objection, and then Judge Torres has 14 days to have a look at the objection. So basically within the next 20 odd days we should get a decision from Judge Torres about the Hinman emails. The reason I'm talking about that is because the attorneys in the space basically say that if we get these Hinman emails, we could be looking at a settlement. So settlement is not out of the question at all. Maybe this extra timeline might have twisted Ripple's hand more towards a settlement, because they were looking pretty strong in this case. And to be under a $2 million a month stress, also not being able to function in the American markets really, maybe that'll twist their hand towards a settlement, and maybe these emails would make the SEC want to settle as well, because they won't want that to get out to the public, but that's all speculation. There's one thing. Another thing is, we've got the midterm elections coming up for crypto. 25% of Americans hold cryptocurrency. So at the minute, we're looking at the House being flipped to more crypto positive senators. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. Like politicians, it would be in the UK. We're looking forward to more crypto friendly politicians, essentially. If we get them, will they then put pressure on Gary Gensler to make legislation a lot easier and clear for cryptocurrency? As 25% of Americans hold crypto, that's a big amount of the population. And will they do something about the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit? The next thing we've got is the executive order and regulation around that. We've got that coming by September, October sort of time. Will we get leaks before that? Are we going to see some kind of news come out in and around that in regards to American legislation and worldwide legislation that might lead to a rally in price of crypto in general? Next, we've got, there is no proof that there is no proof that the SEC lawsuit is suppressing the price of XRP. I talked about this on my live earlier. We can only go off previous price action to tell us the future price of an asset, and we can only use like TA. We only find the TA from the history of previous price action. If we look at where the SEC case came in, which is in and around here, 61 cent. Yes, we did rally just before that when the whole of the market started to take off. Let's say we got up to 78 cent. When were we last at 78 cent? Well, we can go for this range here as a wick, or we can go for like all the way back here. But we can basically say that 190, when were we there? We were there in January of 2018. So before the SEC case came in, we had 1,062 days of price underneath $1.90. And after the SEC case came in, we had a further 180-ish days, and then we hit 190. So you can actually say that yes, it did push the XRP price down, but within the time frame that the SEC case came in, we did still manage to rally from 19 cent up to 190, which we hadn't done for the previous 1,180 days. So is there a correlation between the SEC and price action? I would say that yes, you can point that out here. You can point out that that did negatively affect the price action of XRP. We quite quickly returned to normal though. In those return to normal values, probably in the next month or so, 2 months, we were back up to the same sort of price. And then we rallied and broke above that price by 15th of April 2021. We've also not seen all-time highs from a lot of different assets like your Algorand, your Quant, your XLM, all those sorts of assets we haven't seen all-time highs from, and none of those are under an SEC lawsuit currently. So although the narrative is there and there is some clear indication, like here, where we did price dump, we cannot presume that we will be any higher than this without the SEC lawsuit. Well, we can presume it, but we can't say that it will be fact that we would be. In all of the cycles, XRP has moved last and fast, and we haven't finished a cycle in terms of what we've done previously because we haven't seen an alt season. So if we're still playing the traditional 4-year cycle like we have previously, we still haven't seen that alt season to finish off that cycle, so we can't presume anything at this point. My next positive effect on price action for XRP would be any kind of worldwide adoption, like proper adoption. So we saw the Bank of England talk about moving their sovereign debt onto distributed ledger technology. We know they've experimented with proof of concept with Ripple since 2016. Ripple was the first distributed ledger technology company to meet the compliance needs of the ISO 222 regulations. So could we be seeing something there? I don't know, but that would be something that obviously would positively impact the price. So something to take into consideration there. We could have an F the SEC rally, especially with what's going on with Elon Musk and Twitter at the minute. Will he join up forces with Brad Garlinghouse and give us some kind of rally there? Obviously, that's more speculative, but definitely something to take into consideration. We've got Flare Networks launching on the 4th of July. Should they pass the audit that they're doing at the minute? If they pass this audit, the audit's basically just to check that the code's good. And if they pass that, they will release on the 4th of July. Flare Networks is going to be a DeFi project allowing different F assets to basically run cross-chain and enable smart contracts to these assets. It will give us the ability to earn yield on XRP, as well as the other F assets, XLM, Doge, etc., Litecoin. And finally, one thing that we haven't seen since we had this news that the case is going to be delayed a long time was a lot of selling pressure. You could argue the market was already coming down. We haven't seen any extra volume. I would have expected to have seen some volume if it was related to the SEC news, because you would expect to see more sellers come into the market, and obviously I would say like 60% of the market probably is going to hold XRP regardless, and then you might get 20% who are going to sell, capitulate, and the other 20% who are going to scoop that up and add to their bags if the price comes down like it is at the minute. But we haven't really seen that in terms of volume. We're seeing a bit more volume come today, but this is probably for the whole market, I presume. a little bit more than the previous few days. We got the news in here somewhere, the 22nd, maybe the 23rd. So we got the news in and around here. There wasn't really an increase in volume. In fact, the opposite thing happened. So they're the things that I've been keeping my eye on recently. And basically what I think is, as I said in my live this morning, a quote from Bearable Bull is that bull markets end in euphoria and not in fear. Ouch. Punch the desk. And I'll leave you with that one today. Thank you for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed the video, as I said, please hit that like, subscribe, and comment. Peace up, A-Town down, as Usher would say, and I'll see you in the next one.